Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report today for June the 22nd of 2020, the day that Mixer died. Of course, this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry, hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week. It is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So hey, if you enjoy the show and you like what you see or what you hear, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. But like I said, Mixer, the Microsoft streaming platform competing directly with Twitch, is officially going away, and it's being gobbled up by Facebook Gaming. Microsoft is closing its Mixer service on July 22nd and plans to move existing partners over to Facebook Gaming. The surprise announcement means Mixer partners and streamers will be transitioned to Facebook Gaming starting today, and Microsoft will no longer operate Mixer as a service in a month's time. Microsoft has struggled to reach the scale needed for Mixer to compete with Twitch, YouTube, and even Facebook Gaming itself, which has led to today's decision. Quote, "We started pretty far behind in terms of where Mixer's monthly active viewers were compared to some of the big players out there," says Phil Spencer, Microsoft's head of gaming, in an interview with The Verge. "I think the Mixer community is really going to benefit from the broad audience that Facebook has through their properties and the abilities to reach gamers in a very seamless way through the social platform Facebook has. Microsoft is partnering with Facebook to transition existing Mixer viewers and streamers over to Facebook Gaming in the coming weeks. On July 22nd, all Mixer sites and apps will automatically redirect to Facebook Gaming. Even existing Mixer partners will be granted partner status with Facebook Gaming, and any streamers using the Mixer monetization program will be granted eligibility for Facebook's Level Up program. Mixer viewers with outstanding Ember balances, channel subscriptions, or Mixer Pro subscriptions will receive Xbox gift card credit in exchange." Microsoft's choice to partner with Facebook is clearly a strategic one that is also related to broadening the appeal of its upcoming xCloud game streaming service and its overall gaming efforts. Microsoft will work closely with Facebook to bring xCloud to Facebook Gaming, allowing viewers to click and immediately play games that people are streaming. It's a vision that's very similar to Google's ambitions with Stadia, but Mixer has lacked the scale and viewership to truly deliver this more broadly. Microsoft recruited exclusive streamers like Ninja and Shroud with big deals, but they have not been enough to get more people using the service over rivals. Ninja, Shroud, and other top streamers are now free to rejoin Twitch or stream on Facebook Gaming. Microsoft faced a decision between ditching Mixer, selling it off, or even investing more money without a guarantee it would hit the scale it needs to compete. Quote, "It wasn't as much about return on sell, it was about finding a partnership that was the best things for the community and streamers," explains Spencer. "We think this is it, and it gives us a great place to launch more xCloud content and give gamers the ability to play from there." Microsoft has talked about reaching 2 billion gamers with its vision for xCloud, but Mixer was not in a strong enough position to help achieve that goal. When we think about xCloud and the opportunity to unlock gameplay for 2 billion players, we know it's going to be critically important that our services find large audiences, and Facebook clearly gives us that opportunity, says Spencer. It's not clear exactly when we will see xCloud show up in Facebook Gaming, but it is a key part of this new partnership. Microsoft is getting ready to launch xCloud streaming generally later this year as part of the company's Xbox Game Pass offering. "I don't think we are going to have to wait too long to see the outcome of the collaboration between the two companies to enable this tech for Facebook Gaming viewers," reveals Spencer. "We have seen Microsoft give up on services in the past like Groove Music and partner with Spotify, but that partnership was not exactly super close or meaningful to end users." Spencer sees this as the beginning of opportunities around gaming for Microsoft and Facebook. "The teams are physically actually close to each other. We've been to each other's offices," says Spencer. "You'll see us continuing to grow this relationship. This will be the beginning of us seeing future opportunity together. I think we have a lot of alignment between the organizations on areas where the industry is going and how we can help each other." Microsoft will now keep hold of the technology that has powered Mixer and supported collaborative and low-latency streaming features. Microsoft Teams will start to use part of this Mixer technology in the future to improve real-time interactivity and low-latency streaming, and the Mixer developers involved in this will remain at Microsoft to help with work on the teams. Applying these fan-centric capabilities to new productivity experiences will create immersive ways for teams to empower people, teams, and organizations to better engage in virtual gatherings at work and school, says Spencer. Now, right off the bat, I want to say this sucks for the Mixer community because there are so many people that call this platform home. You have partners that have established their careers and built themselves around this brand. You have communities that depend on this content night after night to bring some joy into their day. And you have this home for a lot of people that is just being taken away within a month's time, and that sucks. And it really is going to be a rough transitional period. I'll also say that I went through the process of transitioning my Mixer profile into a Facebook gaming profile just to see what it was, and there is no follower transfer. There is no subscription transfer. It's basically easing the process of you signing up for a Facebook gaming video creator page, and that's not ideal. You are starting over if you are transitioning over to Facebook Gaming. Now, hopefully, these streamers that have been on Mixer have garnered a following on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever it might be, and they can continue to create content and reach their audience. But this is going to be a very difficult period for a lot of people. But Microsoft's move from a monetary point of view and a strategic point of view does make sense because Facebook Gaming is the most sensible place to move your gaming initiatives because it is growing by leaps and bounds. And I'm going to repeat something I've said before. Facebook Gaming isn't trying to compete with Twitch. It's not trying to compete with YouTube. Facebook Gaming serves the Facebook community because there are people around the world that wake up and they only stay on Facebook. They don't go venture out to YouTube. They have Facebook Watch. They don't go on Twitter. They have their social feed. They don't go on Twitch. They have Facebook Gaming. And it's that kind of perspective that you have to have when you are looking at the value of Facebook Gaming. It is tapping into a largely untapped audience that might not have ever even heard of Twitch or YouTube Gaming, which is technically still a thing, or even Mixer itself. I mean, how many people have actually heard of Mixer? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that here. But no, in all sincerity, Facebook Gaming is a unique specimen because it is a branch between the gaming world and this untapped potential audience. And that is where a lot of people will find success. Will it be oversaturated now? That's still yet to be seen, so we'll follow up on that one in a couple of months. But as far as the technology goes, the xCloud streaming, it's going to be very interesting to see where this partnership ends up. I think that if you look at the overall goal here, Microsoft is certainly trying to leverage Facebook as their social platform. They're trying to connect with the gamers that are going to be accessing that, and the question is, will it be an Xbox exclusive kind of feature? Will it also enable connection through PC? Where does PlayStation come into play here? A lot of questions yet to be answered, but the partnership is here, and Mixer is effectively going away. So that's a lot to break down, but certainly going to be interesting to watch over the course of the next few months how Facebook Gaming grows, what the adoption rate is, and how things pan out in the long term, even looking 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Now, speaking of big acquisitions, Facebook has acquired Ready at Dawn, pulling a Tencent over here, Mark Zuckerberg. Man, you are just getting everything. Facebook continues to add VR developers to its stable of Oculus Studios as the company today announced the acquisition of Ready at Dawn Studios. Quote, having shipped titles to multiple platforms in the past, Ready at Dawn is a veteran game developer with some serious chops as well as a VR pioneer, Facebook VP of AR and VR content Mike Verdu said in a blog post announcing the acquisition. He added, in addition to setting the bar for narrative VR experiences, Lone Echo rewrote the playbook for VR movement mechanics with the debut of Ready at Dawn's signature innovative continuous locomotion system and full-body IK inverse kinematics. The zero-G mechanic is used throughout the Echo Games franchise and lends itself well to VR beginners and competitive VR esports alike. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. Everyone from Ready at Dawn is joining the Oculus team, and the studio will continue to operate out of its two offices in Irvine, California and Portland, Oregon. Founded by former Blizzard Entertainment and Naughty Dog developers in 2003, Ready at Dawn built its reputation making PSP installments of prominent Sony franchises like Daxter and God of War Chains of Olympus. It also made the early PS4 exclusive The Order 1886, and in recent years has focused on VR, producing 3 entries in its Lone Echo franchise for Oculus. A 4th game in the series, Lone Echo 2, is currently in development. Ready at Dawn is the 3rd developer Facebook has acquired for Oculus in the past year. In November, it acquired Beat Saber developer Beat Games, and followed that in February with the purchase of Asgard's Wrath studio Sanzaru Games. This is very interesting because Oculus is continuing to double down on VR, and I should say Facebook is continuing to double down on Oculus. But Ready at Dawn, of course, is a developer that's near and dear to my heart because I'm one of the few that absolutely adored the Order 1886. Now, that being said, I platinumed it in about 24 hours, so it is not that deep of a game, but the aesthetic of the game, the look of the game, very beautiful little PS4 title. This one seems to me like a situation in which we are never going to see Ready at Dawn again, and the shadows of it are going to be seen in games that come out in the future, which is probably exactly what Facebook is wanting to see. So there you have it. That's the end of the story for Ready at Dawn, at least for right now. But Rocksteady is apparently developing a Suicide Squad game. Rocksteady, which is known alongside Warner Bros. Montreal for the illustrious Batman Arkham series, will seemingly be continuing its work within the DC universe with a new Suicide Squad game. This does not come as too much of a surprise, given that the recently leaked list of Warner Bros. Game domains included website names tied to Suicide Squad and something called Gotham Knights. A report from Eurogamer notes that the list is now understood to be accurate. The report also notes that the domain Suicide Squad KillTheJusticeLeague.com looks like it could be the game's working title, which is a pretty not-so-subtle nod to what you might actually be doing in-game. Definitely not fighting the Justice League anyway. SuicideSquadGame.com and GothamKnights.com were also featured on the list of leaked domains, indicating that there could be a separate Batman-based game in the works too. Likely the one being made by Warner Bros. Montreal, which has not been officially announced but is relatively well known at this point, having been continuously teased for ages. Apparently, the Warner Bros. Montreal Batman game is due to be a soft reboot, which could help in kickstarting a new Batman video game universe. Warner Bros. Has an event scheduled for August, which is when these two games are apparently due to be announced. First and foremost, let's talk about the name, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. How about we take that back to the drawing board and maybe make it a bit less blunt? That's like going in and saying, the Avengers, let's take down Thanos. It doesn't have that good of a ring to it, you know? Let's not do that. Now, I would love to just see Suicide Squad be the name of the game, but my question is, do we really need a Suicide Squad game? The answer to that, up in the air. In my opinion, probably not. Now, I am excited to see this Gotham Knights title. It seems to be lining up with the rumors that we've been seeing, where this is going to be something where you play as the entire family of Batman characters, where you can be a variety of individual heroes, and I think that does line up with the Gotham Knights style setup, at least from that nomenclature. But, of course, the event is coming in August, so we will have to stay tuned and see what happens, but Rocksteady is hard at work on a very big Suicide Squad game. Interesting to see that the lead studio is apparently taking the Suicide Squad game while Warner Bros. Montreal is working on the soft reboot. Very interesting little switcheroo. Next up, The Last of Us Part 2 is 2020's biggest UK physical launch and Sony's fastest selling PS4 game. Naughty Dog's grim adventure, The Last of Us Part 2, has debuted at number 1 in the UK charts. More significantly, it is Sony's fastest-selling PS4 release this generation, beating previous record holder Uncharted 4: A Thief's End launch sales by a slim 1%. As noted by GI.biz, the hugely anticipated sequel has taken sales by storm. Not only is The Last of Us Part 2 the UK's biggest physical release of the entire year, outselling Nintendo's Animal Crossing New Horizons by 40%, but it's also up 76% on the launch sales of the original The Last of Us, which dropped on PS3 back in 2013. It is worth remembering that all the above statistics count for physical sales only, so one can only imagine the numbers once you include global digital downloads. Elsewhere in the charts, Nintendo's Ring Fit Adventure continues to sit snugly in the number 2 spot, while Pokémon Shield re-entered the top 10 at number 9 thanks to the release of its recent expansion. Animal Crossing New Horizons left the top 10 for the first time since launch and now sits at number 12, while mainstays such as Take-Two's Grand Theft Auto 5 and Activision's Call of Duty Modern Warfare continue to hold comfortable week-on-week positions. For now, the day belongs to The Last of Us. It could be some time before it is unseated. This game is phenomenal. I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm not going to talk about anything, but let me tell you, it is fully deserving of every bit of success that it gets. It is the most impressive game that I've seen since God of War. It might even be more impressive than God of War. There are so many elements of it that I love, I adore. And that's all I'm going to say. but I bought it digitally, so my purchase doesn't even account for any of these figures. But let me tell you right now, this game is going to be selling in a very big way. And if it does go the way that I think it will, there's going to be a PlayStation 5 version of this that is released at a later time that has, of course, the ray tracing capabilities and the surround audio, the amazing audio that PlayStation 5 is supposedly going to be bringing to the table. So I think this is going to have a very long set of legs on it, and I can't wait to see how far The Last of Us Part 2 goes. But very interesting to see Naughty Dog is holding the top 2 spots for the fastest selling PS4 games, with Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and The Last of Us Part 2 both holding in the second and number 1 spots accordingly. But Crash Bandicoot 4 could unseat these, although it's very unlikely and that's not going to happen. But Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is coming to PS4 and Xbox One later this year. Crash Bandicoot has been missing in action for years at this point, with remastered versions of his past adventures and racing spin-offs keeping fans occupied. However, the time to wait is almost up, as the famous mascot is back this year with a completely new adventure that Activision is calling a true sequel. Crash Bandicoot 4: It's About Time is a follow-up to the original PlayStation trilogy, and it's being designed by a group of longtime fans. Crash Bandicoot 4: It's About Time has a release date of October 2nd, 2020, and will release on PS4 and Xbox One. Unlike the Insane Trilogy, it has not been announced for PC or Switch. It's in the works at Toys for Bob, which also handled the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Crash 4 uses the same basic platform and gameplay of the original titles, but with advanced and modern twists, such as wall running and grinding rails to make it through tougher areas. The art style has been overhauled for the latest systems, and you'll be able to play as Neo Cortex alongside Crash and Coco. Set at the very end of Crash Bandicoot Warped, the new game sees Neo Cortex, Dr. Entropi, and Yuka Yuka finally escape from their remote plant and return for another attempt at multiverse domination. Of course, you stand in their way, and you will have access to 4 special quantum masks to bend the rules of reality itself and make it through difficult areas. These include the time mask, it slows down time, as you would think, and the gravity mask, it lets you platform upside down. You can watch the Crash trailer or check out the first screenshots below, or you can check out the Play for All interview above, in which they dive a GameSpot into what you can expect from the new game. This is a fully fleshed out Crash game, which I would say is actually pretty neat for the Crash Bandicoot fans. Now, I was talking on Twitter earlier in the day where this is not going to be something that I am remotely interested in. This just is not my cup of tea anymore. But for those looking for a sense of nostalgia, for those that are longtime Crash Bandicoot fans, this is going to be a platformer that certainly looks to be scratching that itch. I will also say it's a full $60 title, so if you are looking forward to a $30 Crash Bandicoot game or a $40 Crash Bandicoot game, don't expect that. This is, by all means, a full $60 game. And I have a hard time with that price. I think primarily because I just got a $60 game and it's The Last of Us Part 2. And I see what that is, and then I look at this, and then I look at that, and then I get confused. But that's not to dog out on this style of game. It's hard for me to remember from time to time that a $60 price tag doesn't necessarily mean you get a God of War or a Last of Us Part 2, and many people would hate that but love this. It's one of those perspective things that I have to keep in mind and actively think about. But as far as a direct sequel to the 3 entries that we got back in the early days, this certainly looks to be one that is going to be a good addition to your lineup that is jam-packed with nostalgia. But to round out today's show, Fallout is crossing over to Smash Ultimate in a Mii Fighter form. Sakurai announced today during the latest Smash Ultimate stream that Vault Boy will be joining Smash Ultimate in the form of a Gunner Mii costume. Although the Smash boss did not have much to say on the matter, like a grand partnership between Nintendo and Bethesda that would involve new Fallout games on the Switch, he did confirm the outfit alongside of Min Min and all of the other costumes. All of the Mii costumes are available on June 29th at 75 cents each. This is by far the coolest one, and there's a screenshot of it in action. Now, I will say Min Min is coming to Smash Ultimate. If you are still looking into Smash Ultimate and you still continue to play it, of course, she is an ARMS character that is in the ever-popular Nintendo Switch ARMS game, but mainly the Fallout Vault Boy. That's the one that I really wanted to harp on for a minute. Looks pretty neat. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed this one, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about everything we talked about here today. How do you feel about Mixer shutting down? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.